Right guys, so day one of our fasting challenge. We're going to go straight on the OMAD, right? We're going to go straight on the OMAD today. OMAD is 1 meal a day. Now when I say 1 meal a day, it's realistically a 2-hour eating window. Now, from having a few discussions with people, I want you to try and understand it. See, when we have a 2-hour eating window, or any intermittent fasting window at all, it doesn't have to always be set in stone that this is the time, bang, 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 bang. So see for example, see the 2-hour eating window OMAD. For me, I like to do OMAD from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. But here's the few caveats I want you to think about. So again, we talked about this morning with one of the clients who has to move the eating window. If you move it forward, things to look out for things that I've experienced, and I know other people as well too. So let's say, for example, I take my eating window from 4 to 6. Right, which is fine. Still a 2-hour eating window, so it's still the same calorie intake, blah blah blah. But if I'm not going to bed at 10 o'clock or half 10 or 11, that's a long period of time where I'm getting the munchies and I'm thinking about food because I have eaten. Right, now the same token, I don't want to do 8 to 10 and go to bed at 10 o'clock because I don't want to go to bed with a big full belly of food. It doesn't feel nice and I don't sleep well. I want to give myself about an hour or 2 hours. It's about a realistic time frame that I'm going to digest a bit of food, but I'm not going to start to feel hungry. Right, does that make sense? So things to be aware about. So we'll try the eating window from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. This works well for most people because it also fits in around dinner time. Now, again, caveat here. Sometimes when your food doesn't match what everybody else is eating, for example, the family, the kids, it's harder to stick to the food that you want to eat because they're eating the nice stuff or nice stuff and you're eating the diet food, if you want, which we don't like calling it the word diet, but whatever. So be aware that you have to be strategically plan your eating window that suits you. It's okay me coming up with a plan, say, right, here's what we're going to do Monday to Friday, bang. But it has to suit you. Remember, the whole point of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make intermittent fasting as effective as possible from every aspect, from a weight loss point of view, from a health point of view, from an autophagy point of view, from a collagen regenerative point of view, from a sleep point of view, from a everything point of view. But it has to also be enjoyable and sustainable and fit into your lifestyle the way it's supposed to. Some people like doing their eating window early in the morning, right? Say from about 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And they can go the rest of the day with no food. If that suits you, then that's fine. But can you adhere to the other rules and regulations of, for example, you still have to fast for 22 hours, which means there's no food coming in, no calories coming in. Now on that, remember, black tea, black coffee, green tea, guys. I love green tea. Green tea helps to mobilize fat for fuel. So I know when I'm drinking it, I'm mobilizing the fat that I want to use for fuel during the fasting period, or just simply water. Remember as well, we've got to stay hydrated. Hydration really is the key to everything we're doing. What does hydration mean? It means sodium. It means when you're eating food, salt your food. Right, I don't mean table salt. We talk about pink salt, Himalayan salt, stuff like that, but you must salt your food, and it's not bad for you. You're not going to take a heart attack. All bullshit, all the stuff you heard, that's white table salt that will do the damage, not ordinary salt. You need salt for muscle contraction. You need salt for your heart to work. You need salt for everything to work. All right, for your brain to work. You need salt. Sodium, lack of sodium will kill you. All right, literally. So we need to stay hydrated. Or get yourself a hydration formula. Like I said, there's the one I like to use is a Naughty Boy. I buy it in McGinley's over here across the street, and I have to take 2 or 3 of those a day if I'm doing a long fast. It also tastes nice. It gives me some flavour in my mouth, and there's no sugar, and it's not going to break a fast. All right, we're going to do this Monday to Friday, guys. So again, fitting in the eating window that suits you. Right, when we eat, remember, we always break the fast half an hour before the fast with 2 scoops of whey protein. Whey protein, not beef protein. Guys, if you're going to use beef protein, you're probably better having a bit of Greek yogurt instead, right? Because there's going to be more of that satiety that we want. Remember, the whole point of the whey protein is to make the belly feel a wee bit fuller. So when we go into the first eating actual food, we don't get that binge response where we just want to gorge, because the belly's kind of a wee bit full with a bit of whey protein. Beef protein doesn't do that, all right? It's because it's just a liquid. It's not going. It will give you the amino acids, but we're not just using it for the amino acids. We're using it for the satiety thing and making you feel full up and lining the stomach. So when food comes in, there's less of a gorge response. When we eat, guys, what I want you to think about here, don't count calories, right? Don't count calories. The whole point of this is it's not a calorie counting point, calorie counting thing. For some of you to say, but I need to count in case I overeat, then if you're overeating, you know you're fucking overeating. Jesus Lord, right? I know if I'm eating too much fucking food. I don't need to count the calories to know if I'm overeating. Right? So don't count calories. The whole point here is that we're eating healthily, naturally, as close to nature as possible from a time point of view and from a what we're eating point of view, right? When we do eat, guys, try and make it zero processed foods, right? I don't want any processed foods coming to my stomach if I've been fasting for a long period of time. Empty calories, they're just going to make you feel full up. You're getting a stupid crazy insulin spike. Keep as close to nature as possible. So for example, my meal, and I try and make it a wee bit different every day, but my first meal, for example, my main meal today will be lots of lettuce leaves, lots of sort of what do you call spinach leaves. I'll have maybe 2 or 3 boiled eggs. I'll have either a tin of tuna, a chicken steak, or a chicken fillet, or a steak, or something, or a salmon steak. I'll have a bit of salad dressing, maybe a wee bit of coleslaw on the side, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and I'll really fill it up. I'll use a bit of balsamic vinegar dressing. Lovely. Then about an hour after that, I'm going to have a Greek yogurt with some nuts, some blueberries, some raspberries, some strawberries. I'll even stick a scoop of whey protein in there and mix it up. Not always, sometimes, and a good drizzle of honey. And I'll use maybe a couple of squares of dark chocolate, 90% dark chocolate. I'll break that up and I'll have that with it as well. Perfect. There's nothing processed. It's all good, healthy, natural food. I've consumed probably about 120 grams of protein, 150 grams of protein, and I'm going to feel full up. I'm not going to want to eat anything else after that. Now, every day will be pretty much the same, except I'll vary a wee bit. One day I'll have chicken, one day I'll have fish. I might have a big stir fry, but it's all good, healthy, natural food. There's nothing processed. I don't want any biscuits. I don't want any pasta. I don't want bread. I don't want nothing like that. Not that there's anything inherently bad about it, but I've been fasting for 22 hours. The stuff that I put in my stomach, I want to make sure it's good, healthy, natural stuff so I can utilize those nutrients as much as possible. Remember, it's not just a weight loss challenge, it's a healthy living challenge. I want to get as much from this as possible. I'm going to stay well hydrated. Hydration, again, does not just mean water. It means the reason, it's something on there that's going to make the water stay. Electrolytes, right? Drinking copious amount of water is just going to dehydrate you anymore, because the water needs some form of way to be sucked into the muscle. Usually carbs do that. Well, not usually, that's what carbs do. Carbs suck in water into the muscle. So whenever you eat carbohydrates and you drink water, when the carb goes under water, and the muscle, the water comes with it. So 1 gram of carbohydrates will hold about 3 or 4 grams of fluid, right? So that's what keeps the muscle hydrated. We're not eating any food, we're not eating any carbohydrates, so the body will excrete all the water that's been stored in the muscle as it starts to use up that energy that's stored in the muscle for movement and energy expenditure. So the water just gets expelled. This is why you lose a lot of water weight when you start something like keto or your first diet, because you've reduced the amount of carbohydrates coming in. Therefore, you've reduced the ability for the muscle to retain fluid, and you pee it out. That's dehydration. We will need then, when the water we do drink, we need some form of way to absorb that water, and sodium does that. All right, sodium, salt, rock salt, Himalayan sea salt, all that kind of stuff. All those minerals that are in there will help to do that. All right, so that's why we need the hydration when we're staying hydrated. All right, so let's focus on this again. To maximize this, move. Get up early in the morning, go for a 30-minute walk, do your resistance training every single day. I know I don't recommend it 5 days a week, probably 2 or 3, but for the purpose of this, get in, move, burn it up, burn as many calories as you can. Go walking, go dancing, go jumping, I don't care, burn calories. Maximize this. All right, have a bit of downtime, a bit of relaxation time. For me, 20 minutes meditation in the morning, a bit of gratitude, just to feel good that I'm put my body through this, and I'm going to cleanse myself, I'm going to feel better. Gratitude for my body, the fact I can move, the fact I have good healthy food that I can eat. It really sets up the mindset for this. All right, remember, hunger feeling is just ghrelin. It's usually triggered off by dehydration. Also circadian rhythm and habit, which means if you're used to eating at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, at those times, your brain will say, okay, it's time for you to eat, I'm going to release this hunger hormone. It's only a hormone, it's not real hunger, you're not going to die. All right, there's people in the world who actually go through real starvation every single day. You're not. All right, I hate people that tell me, I'm hungry, I can't do this fasting, I'm too hungry. No, you're not. You have never experienced hunger in your life. All right, in fact, for some of these, this is the longest period of time you've ever gone without food, which is shameful. They actually cry about it. Not shameful to do, but shameful to cry about it. Oh, I'll die if I go 20 hours without food. Have a word with yourself. Jesus, there's people out there who really really severe hunger every single day of the week, and they manage to live. All right, so you're not going to die. Have a good day.